All right, so live training happening, and I'm really excited for this one. It is a new year, and I've been meaning to kick it off with some really good tips and tricks that are 100% free to you guys. So let me make sure I got all of that. We'll wait for a few of you guys to hop on. So, new year, I know we always have, good plans to make it a better year, be more productive. And part of what we do here at the Hyperlocal Real Estate Agent is we make sure that this is really going to shape up to be your year. So sometimes, I've talked to people that had some unfortunate events happening and they kind of feel stuck in their own um, life. They want to get out of it and they don't know how to do it. So part of what we do is to make sure we have strategies in place that are for everybody's budget. So one of the first things is always, well, how much is that going to cost me? And not everybody starts out with that huge budget. So we want to make sure we are very aware of that. And any strategies that we go over, there is free options we're going to discuss. And there's also some paid ones in there. But for the majority of what we'll do, it's really the paid training, the unpaid, there you go, strategies that we want to focus on. So today's topic, what I wanted to dive into is lead magnets. And lead magnets, you may ask, is what's a lead magnet? So a lead magnet is something of value to your potential customers. Now, as real estate agents, what comes to mind for us is guides on first-time home buyers. If you're specializing working with veterans, you may want to, focus an entire PDF on guides that can give you tips and tricks. I'm sorry, I can't talk today apparently. So focus on those things that you think your customers would consider helpful. And the important part is to make them available for free. Okay, this is how you get in touch with your perfect customer. If you are in the work from home space where people are just, loving to have a home office, maybe consider having an entire guidebook on that of the things you need to consider when looking to work from home if you're buying a house. If you have clients that are having an in-home business, for example, like an in-home daycare, or if you are specializing, you really need to consider your niche. What is it that you are amazing at? You cannot go out and say, I'm going to help everybody. While this ambition is phenomenal and you should certainly work with as many people as possible, you want to make sure your lead magnet is super, super specific to who you are trying to target. The more specific, the better. Let's look at a couple other lead magnets. A webinar. You could just record a webinar or video. You could also do it live and tell people you're going to be, talking about the steps it takes to buy a home. Now, those videos initially might be not as visited, but just do it on your personal page. You can also then use it and you can share it by just downloading it, putting it in an email. We do have an entire, system built out that we can go over at a later point that shows you how to send emails with a call to action that gets customers to, click a button and then go into that, because not every live training is going to be at a good time for everybody. So make sure that there is some sort of backup available. So now lead magnets, I personally love my lead magnets when they are, ebooks, guides, to be designed in Canva. So I'm a big fan of Canva. Now I've used my my open houses, for example. So if I do an open house, sometimes I will put together a guide that goes over the neighborhood. It goes over, when the neighborhood was established, the crime rates per national average, because obviously I can't say, you shouldn't buy here because people get shot every 2 seconds. Wouldn't be good. But you want to make sure you have sources you can draw from. Our MLS ended up providing us a service that does give out that. But with a little bit of digging, you can find websites with some resources. If you want to, include in a guide about the schools, you can go into more depth on schools, so that's possible too. There's a lot of valuable information you can compile, and you'd be surprised how much people love to get something that is already compiled for them. So if you are, having a listing and you do so much research on it, on the neighborhood, on the area, on the subdivision, make sure you utilize that, and then keep that lead magnet, not just for that listing, but also make sure you keep that lead magnet for future growth. So you want to not just do it once and be like, okay, this is, just very specific. Maybe keep it general and just focus on that specific subdivision, at which point then you can use it over and over and over. A lead magnet, so we've covered ebooks, we covered PDFs. Those can be, by the way, hosted in Google Docs. If you wanted to, completely 100% free. At this point, all you got to do is, invest your time to create the lead magnet, and then you just request an email for the people that want access to it. And boom, there's a lead for you with an email, a person that has a high interest in whatever you provided, and you can then follow up with that person, because as we know, follow-up is key. Okay, so you can host a webinar for buyers, you can host a webinar for sellers. If you want to talk about the rent-to-own space, if you want to target renters, you can find a topic that is very much aligning with those values. You could do a business directory of the businesses that are in a broader area. Let's say all the organic juice places, or get an entire list of all the Orange Theory surrounded this property. I mean, there's just so much that you can think of. Let's see, if you're in the country, who's the farmer that got the biggest eggs, or the healthiest chickens that lay the best eggs? I don't know. I'm not in a very rural area right now. So, but if you're, thinking about different strategies on how can I provide value to my customer, this is really where you want to niche down and think about it. And you can include different niches. So you can go from, one niche of, let's say, healthy living, and then you're also targeting people that are working from home. So you have 2 lead magnets. So have a couple different ones, gives you a variety. Always keep adding on, because we always get told the number one thing we should do is prospecting. And I don't know about you, but prospecting, when it comes to hitting the phone, cold calling, door knocking, like, this is me. For some, it is absolutely everything. Let me know in the comments too if cold calling or anything is you, or if it's just something where you say, oh my gosh, absolutely not. So lead magnets, create something on paper is the easiest way. Host it in Google Docs, and obviously brand it to you. Your number, a picture of you, wherever they received that information, and keep building onto that. It will really help you grow your business. So start there. Start with lead magnets. If there's any other questions, pop them in the group. We're here to answer them. And that one concludes our training today on lead magnets. What it is, I gave you a couple ideas. If it's right for you, and I can't wait to catch you at the next one. See you later.